I have exposed my own personal opinion on this a couple of times. It's my show. I reserve that right to do that from time to time. So I feel like it should be no surprise the things that I think on the situation. Hello, Big Show nerds. We've got a thing. It was a slow news week. That's all I'm saying. We're adding a section that is not going to be 100% recurring. It's only going to happen from time to time when there are things to call out. I'm calling it call outs. Really original, I know. But yeah, there is some news to talk about, and we're going to get into that. But first, we're going to get into the intro. Let's get into TV streaming. We do have a couple of follow-ups here. First up, Superman and Lois after a record-breaking premiere episode, as well as a pretty solid second episode. It's going on hiatus. Como? What is going on here? So it seems that during production, there was some issues dealing with the virus, if you catch my drift, because apparently we can't say the actual name of it without being like shadow banned or whatever. So there was an issue dealing with a sickness that just happens to be going around the world right now. That put a kind of a monkey wrench in the whole works for the rest of this season. So in its place, we're just going to get the final season of Supergirl airing a little bit earlier, and then presumably in the second half of this season times, because CW runs approximately 13 episode seasons for most of their newer things. Obviously Supernatural and such from years ago did not follow this, but it seems to be approximately 13 episodes per quote-unquote season, whereas normally it was like 20 to 23 episodes per season. So now with that extra time, that is presumably where we're going to be seeing the rest of the Superman and Lois season 1. And in the meantime, we're going to be getting the end of Supergirl. Interesting. That's all we got, though, so we're going to be moving on. Next piece that we have in TV streaming is also a follow-up. We're talking Powerpuff Girls. The live-action show, this is a real quick update, live-action show has announced casting for the girls. We have Chloe Bennett, Dove Cameron, and Yana Perrault all have been cast as the Powerpuff Girls. Bubbles, it's been so long since I watched it, I don't remember. And only one of them looks very obvious as to which character she was cast as. The other two, honestly, could kind of be either of the... it'll be interesting. We're definitely going to be keeping tabs on this because I'm super intrigued by this concept. And we're moving on. Our one piece of actual news is kind of cross between TV and movies and streaming. It's all encompassing. It has to do with Pepe LePew has been canceled. I feel like we should have saw this one coming. This should not be a surprise to anybody. Rapey skunk man no longer going to be in any Warner Brothers. This is not just the Space Jam movie because everybody's making a big stink because he was originally supposed to be in the Space Jam movie over a year ago. Keep that in mind. This cut happened more than a year ago. Okay, so Pepe Le Pew is no longer going to be in Space Jam, and everybody's losing their mind about that. But we have another announcement, another press release from Warner Brothers saying, actually, he's not going to be in anything going forward. He's just been retired. There is a possibility because he is a cartoon, they could rework his image. I feel like that's going to be quite the task should they choose to do so. But it sounds like by all accounts, he's just being retired because he's no longer culturally appropriate. And I feel like he kind of hasn't been culturally appropriate since like the 80s, but that's just me. And I've always been weirded out by Pepe Le Pew. And that's what we have for TV streaming. Now we are into the movies section. Movies is slightly larger, only in that we have more news and less follow-ups than the TV streaming section. Our one follow-up for today's episode in movies has to do with A Quiet Place 2. I'm super excited about this. New release date is May 28th of this year, so crossing fingers that this doesn't move again. Please? I really want to see this movie. Can this be one of those that just slips through between all the shutdowns, please? But yeah, that's all we have for follow-ups. Next, we're talking about a new movie coming to you from Amazon Studios called Hellsing. That is an adaptation of, where is the guy's name? Kouta Hirano. It's supernatural in nature in that Dracula is no longer Dracula. Dracula is now going by Alucard, which I honestly thought the first instance of that was in the Castlevania game series, but maybe I'm wrong. So yeah, he is working for the Hellsing agency that is run by the original Van Helsing's granddaughter, which is interesting. He's still a vampire, but he's helping to fight off other vampires, to rid the world effectively of other vampires, ghouls, and other supernatural threats. This sounds like a pretty awesome series. I'm very intrigued as to why they decided to go movie with this. The guy who's writing the script for this is Derek Kolstad, who was one of, I think he was actually the main writer for the John Wick movies, at least one of the John Wick movies. So yeah, pretty freaking interesting. Supernatural meets John Wick meets Dracula meets I don't know the ethnicity of Kouta Hirano. Some sort of Asian ethnicity. I apologize for being ill-informed on his origins, but either way, sounds awesome. I'm super excited about this, and since it's coming to you from Amazon Studios, we can probably bank on the fact that it is going to be, if it's released in theaters at all, it will be simultaneously released on Amazon Prime, but that has not been made explicitly clear. Once we know, we'll keep tabs on it. Right now, we're moving on to our final piece in movies, and it has to do with Jumanji. Jumanji isn't going away anytime soon. And this is not a done deal. This just comes from one of the upper-ups over at $7 Studios, one of the production houses that's responsible for Jumanji. He was talking to comicbook.com saying that there is early workings right now for a fourth Jumanji movie, because this is a thing that we need. That, though, is all that we have in movies, guys. Now let's get to the rumor mill and GTFOH. All right, so rumor mill, we're going to keep this fairly short and sweet. First up, we have a Green Lantern Corps rumor. There is now a big rumor that this is kind of a variation on a rumor that we had about a month or two ago, saying that Hal Jordan is in fact going to make an appearance in the new series, even though he's not listed as one of the characters. He's not going to be a main character, according to the rumor. The rumor says that their plan is that they're going to introduce Hal towards the end of the first season. He's going to become a series regular of sorts in season 2, all as a means to clean up his image, because the Ryan Reynolds movie left such a sour taste in the world's mouth that they want to do this slowly. Now, because of that, I feel like there is a little bit more legitimacy to this. This honestly comes from a pretty decent source, a very unique source in that there's no way I can corroborate any of this rumor, so that kind of works against it. But the plan to introduce a brand new character into this world through this series does not bode well, because we know how nerds react when you do such things. If you're creating somebody specifically for a thing that wasn't in the source material, then they get really upset. You have to create them in the source material first and then work them into the new thing, right? So since they're not doing that, since they're just introducing this new protagonist into this world willy-nilly, I feel like the only way to salvage that in the eyes of the base that they are going for is to have a big name somewhere in this. Yes, I realize that like the other Green Lanterns that they are using are also big names, but none are as big as Hal Jordan. Honestly, Jon Stewart would be the only other option. So I feel like it could be Stewart as well. But this rumor specifically says that it's going to be Hal. I feel like in this instance, either one would be acceptable. Likelihood that this is a viable rumor, that there is any sort of basis in reality for this, I think is fairly solid. I originally, when looking into this, was going to go about 50-50, but I feel like it's honestly a little bit higher than that. We're going to go about 60% viability for this to be an actual thing. Our next rumor has to do with WandaVision. It only starts in WandaVision. I realize WandaVision just ended, and boy, who else was kind of disappointed? Like, I set my expectations low because I had heard all of the things we talked about in the last episode. But like, wow, that was not what I was expecting, even with my lowered expectations, right? Anyone with me on this? Like, it was good. I understand why Kevin Smith got emotional when he was watching it, because it was still good. Like, there was still emotional weight. The acting was still very expertly done. My issue was with the direction and the writing, and there was so much more interesting stuff that they could have done. I understand Feige has a plan, but boy, did he drop the ball at this point in his plan, I feel like. Anyway, to the rumor. Evan Peters, as we well know, at least as far as this series is concerned, Evan Peters is not Quicksilver. He's just some guy named Ralph Bohner. Get it out of your system. Yeah, you done with the giggles? Okay, so Ralph is just an actor according to what they gave us in WandaVision. So this new rumor kind of goes off of a line that we got from Jimmy Woo, in that, I apologize, I can't remember the actor's name who played Jimmy Woo. Anyway, in that he said when it was the third episode, I believe, where they're standing outside of the hex because they can't see it necessarily. And he said the reason he found out that such a thing had happened was because he had somebody in that town that was there in a witness protection situation, and he was going to check on them, and there was no way to get a hold of them. So that's how it was found out. So the rumor says that that person was this Ralph Bohner. Ralph is actually Peter Maximoff from the Fox universe. He was just there as an undercover, effectively. And because Agatha didn't know that, she brainwashed him into thinking that he was her husband, and therefore hilarity ensued and things happened. So this rumor is saying that we will find out that he is actually from the multiverse in Doctor Strange 2. So we still have Spider-Man No Way Home happening, and then Doctor Strange 2 happening, and that's when all will be revealed. So this is grasping at straws, I feel like. I initially on this one wanted to go a little bit higher than I'm going to as well. I feel like they put Peters in here as a red herring just to mess with the fans, just to get us to start to speculate on these rumors and to play with these ideas, because they want to see where our minds are at so they know how much they can screw with us. So honestly, I don't even think this is 40% validity. I think we're looking at 30% validity. There is a distinct possibility that this could happen. I'm just not putting a lot of weight behind it. So moving right along, we have Man of Steel 2 back in the rumor mill. New rumor is saying that if the Snyder Cut does well, then we're going to get Man of Steel 2. We are going to find this one out soon enough. So but there's too much going against this. There's too much of Zack Snyder saying he's not coming back to DCEU. Too much possibility that Henry Cavill's contract does not include this, and Warner Brothers is, in fact, looking to go a different direction. A lot of signs are pointing to that. So there's not a lot to support this rumor. And then we have those other rumors saying that we're getting Ben Affleck Batman series on HBO Max. So why would they do Man of Steel 2? Oh, that's the other part of this. It's going to go directly to HBO Max and may or may not be a series. And just all of these may or may not, and probably and might do this, and hopefully will do that. Just working against this. We're going 20% validity of this rumor. Our next rumor has to do with Harry Potter. This is actually a variation of a rumor that, again, we got approximately a month or two ago, saying that there is, in fact, another Harry Potter movie in the works, and it's going to be based on the Cursed Child musical that is in London, I believe, maybe on Broadway, one of the two. And that they are trying to get the original cast to come back. Emma Watson, apparently, also according to another related rumor, is the holdout of the three main originals. Harry, Hermione, and yeah, I'm not a huge Harry Potter guy. I'm not going to lie. Can't think of his name right now. Totally brain farting. Anyway, so the three originals, the ginger kid. Why can't I think of his name? I feel like such a worthless person. Yeah, so that's the rumor, is that Emma Watson is presumably the one that's being the most difficult to come back to this. And there is so much that's not lining up for this one. We're going to go 25% here as for the validity, just because Harry Potter's huge, but J.K. Rowling's been in hot water recently, and like Warner Brothers is trying to beef up their outings. They are releasing that new Harry Potter game, so that kind of plays in concession with this, but still, I can't go above 25%. There's just not enough solid there to make this seem viable. Our final rumor for today's episode, actually, no, I apologize. There is one more rumor before the final rumor. One more rumor is Deadpool. This is, again, just another source for rumor we've heard previously, saying that Deadpool is going to be the new Stan Lee, and that he's going to be the cameo in the MCU that happens in almost, if not every movie. So far, that's already been proven wrong. I'm giving this one 15% viability. And the only reason it's getting that extra, honestly, 10% of viability is because I really want it to happen. But I just, like I said, it's already been proven to not be a thing. Because if he were, quote unquote, the new Stan Lee, then he would have had a cameo in WandaVision. He would have a cameo somehow in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series. I don't think that's going to happen. He would have a cameo in Loki. I don't think that's going to happen. I think he will have some cameos. Yes, I think there will be a couple of movies that he is not a major player in, that he will walk in and will be on screen for all of 5 to 10 seconds. Sure, I think that'll happen maybe 3 to 5 times. Anything more than that, I really think is going to be a surprise. Going to be a renegotiation of his contract even. So again, 15% viability, that they're going to take it to that level. We've already distinguished the difference. Anyway, our final rumor has to do with, and this one I just had to kill. There's no way this rumor is accurate. So Predator and Alien both, according to two separate rumors, are going to have animated series, I think, in the case of the Alien franchise, are going to both be getting series and one apparently animated over on Netflix. Did we miss the part where they got bought out by Disney? Like, what? Why would anyone believe this rumor? I know there was, when Fox still owned those properties, there was talks. There was even pre-production happening on I believe it was the Predator series on Netflix. So that is legit. I think there might have even been something, pad on paper kind of stuff that had to do with the Alien franchise as well, but no, the fact that this even mentions Netflix as a possibility automatically 100% discredits it. So there is a 0% chance that this is going to happen, because Netflix? Really? Come on, nerds. Are we this gullible? That is all we have for the rumor section, though, guys. And that is it for the episode, nerds. Definitely let me know what I missed in the comments down low. If you want to go deeper into the nerd news, if you want to get more of this nerdy awesomeness, then you can join me on my personal YouTube channel, Generally Nerdy. While you're here, though, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share on all of the Big Show Entertainment Media platforms. You can find us on all of the socials or the website, blacklionendeavorsentertainment.com. All of these things. Specifically, don't forget to subscribe on the YouTube channel if that's not where you are already watching, because we are giving away a PlayStation 5 once we hit 1,000 subscribers. So we are about a third of the way there. Hopefully that's going to pick up a little bit of pace, but whatever. Thank you very much. I'm going to head out now, though, nerds. Don't forget to tune in next time for all that's happening across the nerd world.